All right, welcome guys, welcome back. We are, this is our third session, not the third session, the third session of our Dwarf Fortress run at this stage with the new siege mechanics. Not that we've had a siege yet, but we certainly have been inundated by these badgers. The badgers have sort of been coming in and causing havoc in our fortress. We haven't really sort of done much to control them, and I do want to actually do that in a couple of different ways. There's a few things that Dwarf Fortress doesn't do well, and I will actually maybe just sort of try to sort of ease my way around that one. So we'll have to sort of think about the best way of doing these sorts of things. But anyway, what I have also done just before I started recording was to, if I just go back across, my work orders actually just down through here. I've actually gone and just completely revised all of these to actually sort of just get like a starting set of work orders. And what I've done is, if anyone's interested in actually getting this one, you can grab this one from my coffee.com page. So it's ko-fi.com/DasTactic. Hi Crunch, there we go. Crunch is all. So we've got a few of you that are now redeeming rewards. I've got about 4 or 5 people in line. But if you are interested, this actually, and I'll show you sort of how this one works essentially. I can just go and clear this one out. So what I did do yesterday, actually it was yesterday, I'm just going to go and clear out the work orders. Actually, maybe I'll start from the start and treat this as a bit of a tutorial. To have work orders active, what you need to do is to actually have a manager. And a manager requires an office. So this is the manager's office here. The manager's office doesn't have to be very good. And so if we have a look at the nobles, and just have a quick look at these ones through here, you'll see that Sev is actually our manager. He's sort of like a manager, broker, and bookkeeper. I've given him all of these. And he has one, this just goes through the different requirements. The first one is sort of like whether it's an office, a bedroom, dining room, a tomb, and then any other sort of furniture. The only thing a manager requires is a meager study, which is the lowest level study. And so that's exactly what we've done for him. But you might as well make use of the fact that he doesn't need anything better than that to get him, so at least he's going to be happy. And so what you do is you find an area where there's going to be a lot of foot traffic, and you basically just make a little office, which is just literally a table and a chair for the manager to sit at. So the manager then sits at that one. Once you've actually got that one done, a few things actually happen. The one thing is that your stocks become a lot more accurate, so you can sort of see what's going on in the actual fortress itself as to what's actually happening inside the fortress. Like even with the different backpacks, there's a giant porcupine. You can see that we've got 3 that are actually part of our fortress, and then there's another one through here which isn't. So this one here, if we go and move across to there, it's actually being that's either being sold or. Yeah, it looks like it is being sold. So there'll be a backpack in here, which is not, we don't own that. So essentially the stuff that's underneath those stocks is stuff that we don't really have control over, like the bags as well. There'll be a whole lot of bags that we don't have that are not, we've got 20 that we can control, 17 that we don't. So there's lots of stuff in here that we'll sort of see where we've got the 2 different numbers, but it's very important to sort of see what numbers you have to get accurate amounts. So that's that's one benefit of having a manager. The other one is that you can then automate all of your workshops. So as we produce more workshops, automation will then automatically kick in. And you can actually build work orders even if you don't have the workshops for them. So if we go across into the work orders, and just make sure that you're running DF Hack. Again, DF Hack makes the game so much easier to actually then manage. And so in this case with DF Hack, you can then just go to import. And if you do want to download what I've actually got with that work orders scripts, you can just go and import those. So what I've done is I've got DAS starter orders and DAS steel industry orders. So these are the different orders that I've got on my coffee.com page now. I just put them up there literally a couple of hours ago. And so the starter orders are just going to be all the basic things that you sort of need right from the very, very start. So if I just go and click on that one, I'll just show you the steel industry, because this is not very big, but it does go through essentially how steel is made. So if I go and click on that one, it then brings in all of the different stuff we need to do, like smelting of the ores, like the iron. So that makes iron bars. making charcoal. If we and in this case, in our case, we probably won't have magma that we'll make use of. So we'll actually have to make charcoal out of wood. So we'll have to sort of cut down lots of wood for the charcoal. Making coke from either lignite or bituminous coal. So I've sort of gone through with. There's only 3 ores that make iron. There's 2 essentially ores that make coke. Then you have to make pig iron bars, steel helms, and then you go through the actual making of the different bits and pieces. But we don't need that just yet. So we will end up using that one, but I thought that one might be useful. But we'll just go to import, and these are just the starter orders. There's a lot of them, just going through like brewing drinks, processing plants, just all the basic stuff that you need, and not very big numbers of them. So just sort of getting things done for you. It just scrolls through. The only thing I haven't actually put in here is to make blocks, because I tend to like to make blocks out of a specific material. So that's the one thing I didn't actually put in here. There's even things like easy meals, fine meals, and lavish meals. You don't really need that, to be honest, because, and you'll notice I haven't actually got any clothing in here as well. I've just got other things other than clothing, because DFHack does it automatically. And similarly, like with milking, look, there's no milking of the oxes the water buffaloes that we have on this particular map. That will happen automatically, because DFHack will then just add its own orders in as required. So you don't need to worry about clothing. You don't need to worry about you don't need to worry about the kitchens. But I do like to at least just have those in there. So this one just goes through all the other basic things like getting wooden bins, rock pots, mugs, wheelbarrows, all the stuff that you do need, and it will stop at certain numbers. So you can always just go back in if you're thinking, okay, look, I want to make sure I don't have more than 3 wheelbarrows or whatever it might be. In this case, it's at most 2. I can then just change the number to at most, whatever it might be. And so this will only build wheelbarrows if there's 150 logs. So this one is satisfied. So we'll start to sort of build these. This will then make the stockpiles work a lot more effectively. As the wheelbarrows then get used up to go to stockpiles, it'll just build more of them. So it's a really, really clean system of just keeping everything managed for you. But again, just so you can grab those from my coffee.com page if you want. Thanks to you there for the subscription there, Edramon. Very, very much appreciated. And Private Joe saying a Sunday late stream, nice surprise. Yes, I was going to stream earlier, and then I actually was really tired, so I actually went back to sleep, and then I thought, I'll do one now. Like I'm not doing anything for the next few hours, so I'll do the live stream I was going to do. I was thinking of playing something different, and anyway, that's the work orders. Got those, so the manager allows the work orders to then sort of take place, and we can then sort of start to do different things, and then we can be more specific about what we then need to try to control in our fortress. So one thing we're going to have to start to look at is we're trying to just get on top of things essentially. Now we've got all these badges. One thing I'm going to do is to look for combat, and I'm thinking this can get really annoying really fast. But I'm just going to go into the settings for the game. So if I just go back up into here and go into settings, and then just go to announcements. And you can see down through there, this will take me to different areas where I can just go straight to the combat, for example. So I've got I can then go in and just filter by different things, but I want to go to combat. And I want to have a pause, essentially a pause pop-up type thing happen when something happens, when combat is initiated. And it's really hard to find it, to actually get something that will actually allow you to find where combat is initiated. It's one of these sort of weird things, really, where there's a lot of different stuff, but it doesn't really actually have, like, this is all stuff if you happen to charge, if you parry, if you block. But the first stuff that actually happens is you won't know that until you get into it. There's a combat strike, and it's going to be annoying if I turn this one on, because for the simple reason it's going to, that would probably be the one to go with, just to get the first of an attack. Stunned, knocked out, winded, nauseated, fall over. A lot of things fall over. That may be a good one to go for. So as soon as something falls over, we actually end up pausing. That way I won't lose, I can then sort of try to just check and see when things actually do happen like that one. Give in to pain. It's not really going to, a lot of this just isn't going to help me, like it's, I might try the fall over. It doesn't happen early enough. Doesn't happen early enough. Weapon twist charge, surprised. Dodge. Maybe dodge. Let's just go and do a pop-up there with a pause. So we'll just go and put both of those on and then turn that off after combat is initiated. That way, at least when anything dodges, this may get annoying. So I'm just going to click on done. I wish that there was a something for the start of a combat, so you could just turn that one on. But I'm just trying to find something that will at least allow me to, because we actually lost one of our dwarves because essentially because of an attack that came through that I wasn't even aware of. Anyway, let's just go back and return to the game. Now, the other thing we're going to be wanting to do is just set up things like traps so that if something does come in, we'll then should be able to then trap it. This area through here is just an ideal one for a trap, as well as because at the moment this is our only real entrance into the fortress. I might just put a few traps down through here, so I can. So I'll just go and start those up. Just go down into traps. I'm just going to make these cage traps. Now, in a siege, the cage traps can be opened up by the besieging forces, which is interesting. So I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to keep on building afterwards. I'm just going to go and plan it. And so I'm just going to put down any old cage trap along here. If I put it on the diagonal, they will skip past the diagonal, so I don't have to worry about that one. As I come back up, I don't really need to worry about what's in here either. So I think I'll just, actually I could even just build like a series of cage traps in around here as well. Let's just go and do that. This way we'll just end up building them. Actually, we can't do them on the slope. Which means I should probably dig that slope out. Yeah, I might just do that. So we'll just go back out to dig. Actually, it's going to be this command here. Actually, it's not the one. Dig. And then remove. Just we need to get that flattened off. That way, anything that hits this area will at least then should be trapped inside cages. So that should get rid of things like the badgers and stuff like this, which have been so annoying. They've been chasing the animals that we've got out of the fortress. So I'll just place another cage trap in there as well. And so, so they'll then build all of these, and we could even sort of go and start to add them down along here as well, just a little bit. So yeah, we'll just get a few more cage traps. There we are. So we don't have enough materials now for those, but they'll now just automatically build what we need to build as long as we've got the workshops for it. So this is now our main. This is our main area into the fortress. So we've got this top layer here. Above this we have aquifers, so we have to be careful. This is our bedroom layer, which we're still just trying to sort out. I just need to get that one smooth. What I might do is just because I'm wanting this to be smoothed, I'm going to tell my engraver to just work on smoothing and nothing else, just so that at least that gets done. So if I go into the various, that's the task information. If I go into the labor menu, I've got the stone cutters, which is for smoothing, and you can see there that Began is actually set up as a now Dino Dance. So everyone does this, but what I can do is actually make it so that Dino Dance, the engraver, is also just going to be locked in to only do engraving at this stage. So we'll go that way, and maybe what we can do is actually make it so that it also does any engraving that's required. So Dino Dance will now only do engraving or stone cutting. The others will still do it, but the stone cutting, if I go back to stone cutters, everyone does this. I still want everyone else to do it to help out, but I will actually just have it so that he is or she is then locked into to just doing those. So that's what we'll do there, but yeah, only selected for the actual engraving. So that will be fine. So we can just sort of give like basic orders to our fortress now. We also then have I forget where it is, but what the kids can do. I'm not sure where that is, actually. That should still be in here somewhere. Labor, work orders, places, tasks. Yeah, I can't remember where the kids area actually is. What the kids are allowed to do. It might be under. Might be under as creatures. It won't be there. Might be under settings. I'll just have a quick look in the settings again. Game. Oh, maybe not. I can remember that being something more in the game than what we're seeing through there. Let's just click on done. We'll just be done with it. All right, so we'll just go back in, and that should then mean that we'll end up with getting stuff smoothed out a little bit better. We do actually have a fair few things we need to just get established before we even get like a fortress ready for the sieges anyway. One thing I do want to do is to set up an area where we then build lots and lots of blocks. Because blocks are the easiest thing for us to build, heavy stuff with. So I'm just going to go down to the workshop layer, and I can actually designate a specific workshop for doing things. This workshop here has got nothing happening for it, so I can actually use this one to add a new task. I can then go to making rock blocks. I don't know if this is the best way to do this. Actually, where is it? Blocks. There it is. And I can then just go through and set details for this task, such as materials to be used. I want to use microline because I've got 93 of these. So I'm just going to make one type all the way through. So I'm just going to do that one through there. It's probably not really going to help me much in terms of what I can then go and do. So I'll go and actually, I'll set that one up so that this workshop is the only one that does it. This is doesn't have a number on that one. We'll just go back and have another look. So if I just go back into my work orders and just go to add another work order, and so I'm going to go down to the actual stoneworkers workshop and then make rock blocks in through here. That will then get added to the bottom of my list. So if I just come back down, sometimes it doesn't show the very, very last one. You have to then click on that little one down through there. And making 10 rock blocks at a time is okay. If I just do that, that's a one-off order. That's just showing only one order at a time, so just go and make use of that one. I can make use, it says make use of any shop. I can actually go and specifically tell it to go and shops. Actually, it's got the number of shops there. Actually, no, I'll leave it on any old, it doesn't matter where they get made, to be honest. So I'll leave that one where that is. 10 blocks at a time is okay, I think. But I'm going to need a lot of them. So what we want to do here is to just go back across. And then we can set up the parameters for this one. At the moment, it's a one-time order. But if I say, keep on doing it until the amount of rock blocks is less. Actually, one thing we do want to do is just go back out again and just change the parameters. So set the material. So this is going to be the microline. So we've got the 93 there. So we'll just go back and make microline blocks. And we now just set up the parameters in through here. If the amount of microline so we need to make sure that we've got enough microline to do it. And I'll also stop when we hit a certain number of blocks. So I'll add both of those in. And so in this case, if the amount of microline blocks is greater than, it says 10, I'm actually happy with that number. I can just change also the parameter. So the illegality of what's going to happen, I can just do, usually the game itself tends to like go more than, so it's, or at most, sorry, not at most, at least, where are we? At least 10. So if there's at least 10 microline blocks, then go for it. Sorry, if there's at least microline boulders, go for it. But the amount of microline blocks in this case, if I'm going to change the number of those to maybe something big, like say 200. So we don't want to have, and is at most, in this case, is at most 200. So in that case, this will now just be, they'll just go and, as long as there's 10 microline, they'll just keep on making blocks and they'll make them up until we've got 200 of them. And so we're going to need that for building the top of the fortress as well. So there's going to be a lot of things we need blocks for. So that's the one thing I didn't actually add into my little list because I do like to be very specific about the material that we're using. All right, that's now been done. We can just sort of leave that one alone. Other things that we need to be building in here, I do want to get an area built up fairly fast for forges and things. So let's just go and cut it through here a little bit as well. So I'm going to make all my workshops on this particular layer. Now further off down this way, we've got this is a farmer's workshop. I want to have a clothing industry, and I think I'll set the clothing industry up maybe I don't think I need more than one farmer's workshop. So I might make the clothing industry down through here. So we'll go and make it so that we end up with like a four wide. So 1, 2, 3 different areas in through that side. And I'll come in on the side here with this one, I think. Just down there will be fine. We may make this bigger. And so this ultimately we will have our clothing set up as well. So just wait for all this to be dug out. There we go. The merchants have embarked on their journey, so they've now left. Hi Tenru, how are you going? The clothing one is an important one for us to get established. You can see that they've now got their work orders. They're now coming back through to sort of start to build different things. They're butchering animals, and they do that automatically if you've got DF hack. This will now have different. We've got seeds. We've got so we're actually now making beer out of the cave wheat that we've been growing. Let's go and start. Actually, I'll wait for that one to finish. This is vegan. Just mining away. And we're going to get a lot of these work orders saying that certain things have been completed. All right, so this little area is now done. Let's go and start to put in the various workshops. So maybe we'll just quickly go through all the different workshops that we do need to be, I guess, have as the absolute minimum. So there's a few things. Definitely need stoneworkers as a minimum. We've got those. Crafts we need as a minimum. We've got those as well. The carpenter is a minimum. So these are the first ones that you're going to be getting, along with the mechanic. So you'll need the mechanic for making things for traps and so on and so forth as well. So and also for making a well. So those 4 there are your first sort of rung of workshops. Following that, you then are going to be needing things, for example, like clothing. Not clothing, farming. Like in the farming, you need your still and your kitchen initially. Butcher and tanner as well. They sort of work together. Fishery, if you are doing fishing. I'm not going to be doing fishing on this map at this stage anyway. And then the farming workshop as well, which actually does the shearing and the it does a lot of different sorts of things, milking anything that can be milked. So those things, nest boxes, these are if you've got then we've brought turkeys along, so we're going to have like a lot of turkeys ultimately. And if we've got DF hack on, we've got things like auto butcher. So as it gets to be too many animals, they'll just automatically butcher them away. We'll then get the leather. So you end up with a whole process that you don't have to even manage if you're using DF hack. But in this case, we've pretty much got all of the basic ones, and also the farm plot as well. We've got all the basic ones that we require from the farm as well at this stage. There's the kitchen and the still, and there's the farming workshop. The one that we don't actually have is is when we come back into workshops is the clothing at this stage. So once leather has been tanned at the tanner, it then has to be sort of made use of. So if I go into the clothing areas, we've got 4 different ways, 4 different workshops that can be then sort of made use of. We've got a leather workshop, a loom, and so this one here you can turn thread into cloth, whether it be thread from the farmer's workshop or spider silk gathered underground. The loom is actually really important because this was how you're going to get your spider silk. So the loom is actually the first step in this particular process. So the loom I'll just place into there, and so that's going to be the first of the workshops. And again, I'll hide the planner so we can sort of just build it with the stuff that we actually have. The next workshop is, and I can put them all next to each other. I've got enough there to actually make all 4 of them. So I might as well just do that one. If I just go back into the workshops and clothing and labour. So we've then got the loom, then we've got the clothes. So make cloth into clothing, and tools here such as bags and ropes. So there's a lot of stuff that this workshop does. So so if we do need ropes, if we need bags, this workshop does a hell of a lot of work. And so these are all pretty essential right from the very, very start of the game. And then the next one is the dyer, which is not really essential, but I'm still going to build it anyway. So I'll just go and place it, but I normally don't even bother placing this one. So if I just go back into clothing and leather, so the dyer uses dyes here to colour thread and cloth, requires a barrel and a bucket for construction. So we need to have a spare barrel and bucket, but it's not really a workshop that we have to make use of. What it does do is it just makes them feel happier if they like particular colours. So we'll just go and do that one. So we need to have a spare barrel. We've got a few spare barrels and buckets, and I've got one bucket there. Again, I've got the work orders to make more buckets, and we also then have the leather. I might just cancel those. Cancel that as well. We might actually change the leather workshop off somewhere else because it is quite specific. I might even place it under here. So I'll just spread those things out a little bit. Sorry, I'm just being a bit anal in what I'm doing here. So we've already got the loom clothes. I'll just put a gap between them, and I will actually go and get the dyer as well. So workshops, clothing, the dyer. All right, and so that's going to be the basic clothing. This actually makes use of thread and wool, and that can sort of semi come from there. Leather is actually produced in here, so what we'll do is we'll create another workshop down this way for making leather goods. Leather goods are different again, so we'll just go and dig out this area here for the leather workshop. We'll make it into a 5x5 in this case. So we'll just dig our way through there. Wait for the guys to come and do everything. Now, with the DF hack, if you are running DF hack, there's different things you can set up at the start of the game, and most of them are on by default that you actually require. So if I just go and I'll just pause that for a second, just come back into DF hack, and go into the maybe the control panel. Yeah, this is the control panel for DF hack, shows you what's been done. And so in this case, what we have is we've got enabled, in the way I'm sort of running it anyway, is auto butcher. That's actually running. I can click on these little things to get information about what it's going to then go and do. It will then automatically set up the work orders for butchering. So I don't need to worry about that one. Auto chop, if I want to have, like if I've got an area that I want to have, the wood chopper go outside when the trees get down to a certain amount, I can turn that one on. This is good as well. You can set up the parameters here for these if you're wanting to. Auto cheese, what does that one do? Cheese making is difficult to automate using work orders. A single job can consume anything from a bucket to a single unit of milk. The script will scan your asphalt for barrels with a certain minimum amount of milk. Yeah, let's do that. Let's actually throw that one on. I'm not even aware of that one, so I'll just put that one on as well. Auto clothing. This one here will then put in the work orders to manage clothing. So we don't have to put this into work orders. So you can see they generate manager orders to manufacture more when your stocks drop below a configured per citizen threshold. So again, we don't really, I don't have to worry about it. Auto farming. What this one is going to do is then going to go and change what sort of plants to plant based on what we actually have. So it'll auto manage that for me. Auto fish I've got turned off because I don't want to be doing that one. And auto milking. The auto milking is going to then be establishing, like when a cow or something needs to be milked, it will then, a work order will then be placed. Auto nest box. This one here will then help with the laying of eggs. Auto shearing, so again it'll put a work order in if we've got a woolly animal that needs to be shorn. Auto slabs, this will automatically make slabs for anyone that's been killed that needs to have a tombstone. We've got auto training on, which I don't have turned on. Clean owned as well. There's just a whole lot of little helpful things that can really, really make your job a lot easier. The tailor down the bottom there is sort of similar again. It keeps your dwarves in fresh clothing. So once a day, this plugin will scan the clothing situation in the fort and then just see if anyone needs to have new clothes. So it's just all those little things just make the game so much easier to play without all of the micromanagement. So very, very cool. Hi, orangutans, how are you going? So anyway, that's sort of like that. That's now got all of our basic workshops. Over through here, though, what I want to do is set up a thing ultimately to get steel, and so we've got to make a use of a lot of materials here for the for making steel and for making iron. Let's unpause. Is that vegan again? Yes, it is. Vegan's set to only do this sort of stuff. Now let's just go back up to the top here and just see how we're going. So here we go. We're now doing the smoothing. So this is now a Donna dance. This is now smoothing these bedrooms. Once that's done, I can then start to build these bedrooms. And I might get Began to start to mine another set of bedrooms off from this one. So we'll just go off this way as well. And 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just keep on mining out what we need. So we want to have smoothed walls that makes the dwarves happier for their actual bedrooms. All right, back down through the actual rest of the fortress, down to our workshop layer again. So this has now been positioned. I'll just pause that again, and we'll just go through actually how you then do your forging. Like, so if we have a look at the actual workshops here, and you can see that we've got a few. Actually, one thing I haven't done is I haven't got a jeweler, and I should. This is sort of like mid-level. I'm going to place that up in this slot up here. So I'm just going to place that one there. There's a piece of chalk nearby, so that one can be then done. Workshops, let's just go through all of them. So stoneworker we haven't got soap making. Now I do want to do that one, and I think I'll do that down here as well. We'll just go a little bit further down and make a bit more of an industry for soap making as well. So we'll just come back through and just make a similar sort of zone in there for the soap making. So we'll just end up with just a different, like this way we can sort of have a look at the various themes of the actual fortress itself and what it's actually then going off to do. Right, so with the forging, I've got a few different things that I need to then go and do. Let's just go back again to the workshops. So stoneworker, soap maker I do want to be doing. The siege workshop will now become even more important for us. So we might even put that into this little area that we're now going to be creating off on this zone. The siege workshop is bigger than the normal workshops. The screw press is not something I'm really worrying about. This is actually if you've got olives and stuff like that. Hi Began, how you going? Metalsmith is we definitely want to get a metalsmith. We have a metalsmith there, and we also have a magma forge. The metalsmith is forge weapons and armor here, as well as most other metal objects. From furniture to trap components, these tasks require fuel. Fuel is actually really, really important. So we're going to need to sort of make sure that we end up with fuel. So we've got a metalsmith. We've got the mechanic we've already spoken about. The magma forge is forged weapons and armor here, as well as most other metal objects, from furniture to trap components, blah, blah, blah. But you see magma below the forge will power the task. So this one is the same as the metalsmith, except it uses magma to power it. So that if we don't have magma, we use this. If we do have magma, we use that. We haven't found magma. We're not going to search for it at this stage. So I'm just going to make up one where we're using metalsmiths. So we need that one. The bowyer is another one. Make crossbows here from wood or bone. I might put that also in this other location, but I could also then just go and place that somewhere else as well. They could even go off. Maybe it could even go off the carpenter's area, you know. So it's sort of similarly related to that one through there. Yeah, it can be used for metal. The metalsmith forge can be used for metal crossbows. So maybe we don't even bother with the bowyer and just go straight with the metalsmith. We may end up with a couple of metalsmiths, so I'll just keep that in mind as well. The ashery, so used to make lye, potash and milk of lime. Construction requires blocks, barrels and a bucket. That doesn't mean much to you, but that's part of soap making. So we need that for the soap makers. So use tallow rendered fat and oil here with lye to make soap. So we need to have the ashery to make lye, and then we use that to then sort of feed the soap maker. The different furnaces, there's a whole range of different furnaces. So furnaces are used for smelting, glass making, pottery, ash making, or to make fuel from wood or raw coal. So furnaces require fuel to function, or they can be set above magma. So again, if I go and click on that one there, I then end up with a whole lot of different furnaces off to the side. My head's just sort of covering what they actually all are. But we're going to be needing a smelter, and we're going to need a wood furnace as well. The glass and stuff I will be wanting to get as well at some point. Yeah, maybe we've got to think a bit more about how we we might actually set these up. Like this might end up being quite a big area down through here. We might even go off on two different directions on this side. It's just this whole workshop layer is going to get fairly congested. Maybe we'll do that actually. Let's go and make our we'll do a couple of metalsmiths. We'll do a smelter, maybe a couple of smelters, and we'll do them opposite each other. We're going to need to have a wood furnace in there as well, and then possibly this is a kiln for making clay, and a glass furnace as well. Yeah, so we've got a lot of different furnaces and things to make in through here. That will then sort of get most of our workshops sort of established pretty easily. So let's go up this way, and we'll make a 4x4 there for the couple of metals for the 2 metalsmiths. We'll then have the corridor run up through this side. So we'll place that one there and that one there. So they'll then just go into those two. Opposite them, we'll actually have then the smelters. So we'll just go back that way and back this way, and then actually have the smelters also just operating back out this side. And we do need the wood furnace as well. I might even just build that one down this other side here. So I'll just keep it so that we end up with the sort of a bit compressed in there. I'll just make it a 3x3 there, just to keep this corridor running down this side as well. It doesn't really matter. I'd like to just keep a little bit of space around stuff, but it doesn't really matter if we don't. Actually, I'll just do that this way. That makes it nice and neat. All right, so that's going to be the wood burner, the glass kiln, and then the pottery, if we have to do pottery. So we'll sort of leave those where they are. On the other side, we do need to, actually we're making that for soap down there, that's fine. Just go that way. Allow Began to just keep on coming back in and doing things. Eventually. There we go, we're making good progress now on all of the work orders. Great, we've got a traction bench. So what I'm just going to do is just going to go back up to where we've got our hospital, which is here. And we need to start now putting traction benches in. So on the opposite side of the bed, we've got a table for doing surgery. We've got the bed for resting, and we need to have another area up through here. So let's just go back across into furniture, traction bench. And so these are just going to be placed. I'm just going to go through the plan and just so I can sort of just go and place these, because we haven't got those built yet, but they will be built up eventually. So that's the traction benches will eventually be done into those positions. And once we get all this smoothed out, in fact, what I might do now is tell... Actually, I'll wait for that to be smooth, then we'll just give the order to smooth the rest of this. Slowly smoothing this out. Began's doing a good job making all of these as well. Just unpause. There's no creature that was there for milking at that stage. And we've got all that done now. So this now can just be all set for smoothing as well. Just come off through the middle there. And Began will then just go downstairs now to the workshop layer. There he is, working very, very quickly. This lignite is how we make coke for steel. But we need to have there's a few different things we need to be making here with the with our ores. So we're going to need to actually get like a lot of stuff actually underway with the with all the different ores that we have available to us. So we're going to make this into a metal forge. So workshops, metalsmith. Let's go and place one there. Now there's only one anvil, so that I'll just hide the planner for a minute. We can only make one initially, so we'll then go across the other side and get the smelter. So this will be workshops, and then the furnaces, and in this case we just want to have a smelter. I'll end up making two of these, a siltstone and another one up there. I think they're both out of siltstone. This is going to be a wood burner, so I'll just now go into the workshops again and get the furnaces, and then we have the wood furnace, so it makes charcoal and ash from wood here. Does not require fuel. So it says it doesn't require fuel, but it requires wood. Wood is not considered fuel in the game. So we'll just go and make that one through there. This is good. So Vegan's dedicated to just mining things out, and we'll get other things established once these are done as well. So we'll just go back into workshops, and then we have the furnaces. We need to get a glass furnace for glass making. And we need to make a kiln as well. Not that we need to, but I'll just do it anyway, just so we've got them all there. So furnaces and then a kiln. All right, now, Vegan has not finished off that area. We'll just let that one continue on. And we can't actually make ourselves, you can see this one's got an anvil. We can't make this one until we get a second anvil. When Vegan finishes this one, I'll just go and then plan for how we're then going to supply everything for this. All right, so he's now finished this area. This is now where we're going to be needing to create the soap making. So I've got a bigger area here than what I need, but it's essentially for soap. We're just going to go back into our workshops. You can see down through here that we needed an ashery, so used to make lye, potash and milk of lime. Construction requires blocks, a barrel and a bucket, so it's a little bit more involved. So we'll just go and throw that one at the bottom there. And I'll just use, I've got a couple of chalk blocks there. I'll just make use of one of those. We're making more barrels. We'll just go and grab that one. And we need a bucket as well. And we're now making buckets. So we're just making these automatically because of the work orders. So that's going to be the ashery back in through that side. And then we just go back across to the other one over here, workshops, and just go to the soap maker's workshop. And so what this one uses is tallow or oil. Now tallow, because we killed the badgers, we're going to have badger soap. So that will be what they'll then make. And we need another bucket there and out of siltstone. So that's going to be our soap making area sort of established. Now, what should we get Vegan to work on next? I've just left this in here. That was more, I'll just get rid of that. That was just as a, so if I need to build another row of workshops out of here, I can then go and do it. So we've got different workshops all over the place in here. So this is a very, very, everything we're doing with workshops is actually now being done in this location. Here we go, we're starting to now see the nest boxes are coming back in, and then all of the turkeys have been placed into this particular zone. So this is actually now a, we've made a zone here for the turkeys, and so they'll start to lay eggs, and then the kitchen will be able to then make use of the eggs as well. One thing we don't actually have here all that effective is I've got some areas below here which we can use for storage, but I don't have a hell of a lot, to be honest, and I really haven't done a good job of placing those things there. What I want to have is I want to have easy access for what they need and what they produce close by to everything that we're doing. So I do need to dig out different areas, and I'm thinking what I can do is just go and put like a stairwell, maybe sort of in the middle of these different areas, just so that we're actually ending up going sort of straight down into zones. So let's just go and start to do that now. Just go and get a stairwell there, and just go down one. That's going to sort of end up being on the side of this thing. I might have to reopen up the way this all works. Go there, down to there as well. So we need to get access down. Similarly here, I'll just go and place another access point down that way. Another one there. And another one there. So I'm just making a little up-down stairs all the way through. They don't go anywhere. The trouble we have in this other one is that we actually don't have the... we now have got positions here where there's other things that need to be stored. Like, for example, all of the drinks need to be stored somewhere. So I could use this layer here for doing that. In fact, maybe I'll do that, actually. Maybe I'll do that instead. Let's just get rid of all of those and make the layer above the one that we have for the raw materials for all the stuff that we're actually then producing. So if we go and start to now build, one of the troubles we're going to have now is that we now need to build upstairs. So we need to construct them rather than actually channel them out of the rock. So I'll just go and do that one, maybe just off to the side of each location, maybe just down in through there. So rather than, like if I go down to dig through here and say, okay, I want to downstair there, it's not going to, sorry, I did the wrong one. Do that one there. It's still going to do that, which is fine, but it has to get access to it. So I'll just go and position those all where they have to be. So I'll just go and do one there, one there, and that will do for those. These guys over here will do the same sort of deal. And that one there. So these will ultimately be downstairs once they get access to them. And I'll just do the same in here as well. I could have planned this one out better. I'll just leave that one there. For the kitchen, yeah, we definitely want to have like an area for the kitchen as well. That one I could go down, actually. I could make that one go down into the underneath. And soap making, I've got this little area over through here, and the clothing I don't really need to keep stuff there. So I've got enough for that side. Leather. So that's the up. It's going to be a little bit careful in and around here. I think I'll just make use of the areas around here for the leather. So I won't need any more there either. This one definitely want to go up, so we're doing all of those, which is fine. So once that's done, what we need to then go and do is get access into this area. So because we don't have a downstairs under here, we're going to need to, and I don't want it to connect into here, I want it to just be self-contained for the workshops. So I'll end up sort of digging in around this zone in through this other side, so I don't have a clean way of actually breaking in there. But we're just going to have to build the, actually, where's that one? That one's right in the middle. Yeah, I've done the others in a different position. Just ditch that one. Again, just for neatness, so we'll just go off to this one here. All right, so I need to at least click where I want the stair to finish, but it's not going to finish there. So what I need to do is go back into constructions, in through here, go to stairs, and I'm just going to go and now build a stair from there up. And that should, no, it didn't do it. Click one tile to be the end of the stairs. Hang on, I'll do that again. This one may not do it actually. Constructions, stairs. Spans 2 levels. Hidden, cannot build at this location. Yeah, so I can't actually do that one. In that case, what I'm going to do is I am going to have to break up into a zone and actually and dig up and then sort of start to dig these little areas. So maybe the easiest way for that would be to just literally come back up and just dig up into like this. And then we can just sort of dig across as well. And just get at least those downstairs done. And then we can finish off the stairs afterwards. Let's wait for Began to come up and do that. So workshop-wise, we're now sort of doing fairly well. Yeah, we're getting orders to do different things, but we've got a couple of dwarves that aren't very happy now. It may be because they've got nowhere to sit and eat. Let's have a quick look and see, because we haven't actually done the dining halls. So if we go down to the citizens and just have a look to see. So Zaradin, the expedition leader, is unhappy, as is one of the children. The children I'm not going to worry about. So we'll just look at Zaradin across to here, and we can see annoyed at the lack of chairs. There we are. All right, so let's get some chairs sorted, and that will. So we'll get them a dining hall. Do you ever use quantum stockpiles? Pretty much yes, but I do it in a cheaty way, which we'll do once we get these. Once we get this top layer established properly. Actually, this one now should work for me to be able to then at least do the. So I'll be making quantum stockpiles sort of, but using auto dump to do that rather than actually having like a dumping area. I'm going to ultimately have a quantum stockpile for smashing things eventually, but not just yet. Hi, humanoid derp. There we are, and Vinyl Rabbit. So and Muzzle Paint saying, "My God, their streaming never ends." From Lord of the Hall. Yeah, I just felt like playing it again. I just sort of every so often it just really grabs me, and I just want to keep on playing. We now actually have an upstairs here. So I can actually go and I should be able to now go and click on that one and end there. There we go. And so it now wants to use two different materials. So select the materials for the up-down stair. Now to have microline, I'll just use chalk. So I'll just go and make these out of chalk. So I've got two of them. I've got to place two of them in there. And so what it's now going to do is do an upstair there, but it's also going to then replace that one with another constructed stair. I can go there and cancel that construction, and it'll still build that one there. So it's going to use the rock that we carved in there, and it's going to use a constructed chalk stairwell there. So we're going to now go up and do another. I'm just going to do a few of those now. So we'll just go back across to construction, stairs, keep on building afterwards. Just make sure that that's the right position. Click, up, done. Two chalks. I can't see the other just yet, so I'll just right click and then cancel that construction. All right, we can now do this. I shall wait for him to finish all of these. So Began is like a master miner, and can sort of just make his way through very, very easily. We're striking a lot of lignite. This is really, really valuable, like super, super valuable for us. Because that's how we make coke for steel making. We'll probably be able to make steel very, very early, actually, which is great. Just letting all of these go forward. Okay, so this is now, we've now got the position where we can just keep on making these stairs now. So I'll just go back to the stairs. I can start here as well and just go straight down. Make them out of chalk. We'll go back across this one over here as well. Click, down, and chalk again. Click, down, and chalk. And the next one as well. And again, the bottom bits will now be built, and I just need to go to the top ones and just tell it, forget about doing that construction, we don't need it. Because we've already got the downstairs anyway. All right, so that's now been done. They'll then do those. Might as well get Began to get all of this stuff ready. Actually, so this area up here is all going to be a big area for storage. So we're going to be storing all of our metals will be stored up here. Actually, the rock is going to be stored. Rock is going to be stored up in this zone. So I'll end up just maybe coming back to here. So I'll just go that way, I think. I like to have an area for furniture as well, so I'll just make an area off the side there. So we'll sort of use like quantum stockpiles in here, but they'll be done with cheating. So we'll just cheat our way through that one. And then we'll just make a stockpile down this way as well, a fairly large area for all of this. All right, so these will be just for storage, really. Okay, we've got that creeping soot is a cloud of creeping soot is coming through. So Beacon should start chomping away at all this. So there's a lot of work orders being given at the moment. Let's go back up and have a look at the bedroom layer, just see how that one's sort of operating. It's not really going all that fast, to be honest. So Dino Dance is not doing this as fast as we would want. Eventually it'll get faster, but it's just a little bit slow at this point in time. And we do, actually that's the other thing we need to do, is to make a dining hall. We had the meeting area in through here, which is actually too big. So I'm going to split this one down in half, and I'll make a dining hall in the top area. So we'll just go back across, click on this particular one, repaint, and just get rid of maybe that portion of it. And we'll make this into the dining hall. Accept. So dining hall be positioned in there. Oops, hang on, let's we're still on the other one, which we don't want. Do that again. Dining hall. Got that one selected. Accept. Okay, so the dining hall we do want to have as a like with chairs and tables. So I'll just go and start to position those down the middle of the hall. So this will be furniture, tables, and I'm just going to do the planner because we're not going to have enough tables at the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we've only got one table. All right, so that will go through there, and same with the chairs. Furniture and chairs. And so the work orders will then just pick this up eventually and just build more of those. All right, that's all done. So we'll just unpause that. So the dining hall will be where they'll come to eat. Have we got stuff in here yet? No. Got some cloth. We don't have much else. Just put these beds here for now, just to allow the dwarves to at least sleep somewhere before we sort of get the bedrooms done. You can see there that they've been eating at this table. All right, here we go. Early winter. Now, if we're going to be attacked this year, this will be when it happens, I think. I don't know if we'll be attacked this year. Just get myself a drink of water. Be right back. Hi Spitten, saying, how's the new patch? Well, we haven't got to it yet. So there we go, Began saying, Master Miner in Search of Forgotten Beasts. And so the patch is, what I've done is I've tried to make it so that it's as difficult as we can possibly make it so that we end up being inundated by sieges and stuff like that. So what I've done, I'll just quickly go through the settings just so you can sort of see what's going on with it. So if I go to difficulty, you'll see it's custom. And if I go to custom settings, the settings I've made it, this is about half the population that we need to trigger a level 1 attack. We've got 13 population at the moment, so we're certainly over the limits. By default, that is usually at 20, I think. So I've sort of really chopped this one right down. And I've also chopped down the production triggers and the trade triggers as well, down to small amounts. We didn't do 150 trade. So when we had the traders here, we only got to about 90 because we didn't have enough stuff we could actually give them. So we didn't get enough trade there, and we are sort of slowly building up the value of the fortress overall, which is, what's it worth? Yeah, created wealth 8,500. So we're getting up there with that one. Imported wealth 3,500. Yeah, actually, there's the exported at 90. So I exported about 90. So we haven't triggered that one yet, but we're triggering the population. And one thing I also did was in DF Hack. I went to DF Hack, went to the launcher, and did diplomacy, and what we ended up doing was forcing a war with the Lords of Stealing, which are next to us. But in the meantime, I've actually got another couple of wars that have started up as well. The Malignant Plague and the Impure Mire and the Threat of Cursing have all declared war on us. It may be because these other goblins drew them in. So that's what we've sort of done there with the DF Hack. And if we have a bit of a look, we should now see there should be a lot more red around where we are. We just center on our fort. Our fort is, we're surrounded now by danger. So this is us in here, the Dwarven Fortress of Razor Wealth. And so that's where we are. And then below us, we've got like Dark Goblin Pits of Maggot Daggers. We've got the Burrow Droops. Is there any major... There's a Dark Goblin Fortress of Vulture Pride. Is it all just... These are Dark Goblin Pits, yeah. So we're just surrounded by goblins now. By even this one through here. This is a Goblin Fortress. So they've taken over some of the Dwarven fortresses that were backing through here. We've got a couple of outposts which are part of our civilization. But there is now a lot of enemies coming through. We go to news and rumours. We didn't actually look at this. We can start to sort of see attacks and things that are going through. So if we have a bit of a look, if I hover over areas, I'll just move this one across because they come out of that one there. This is a Dwarven Helix of Cavern Walls. In the late spring of 300, Lamb Artichoke became the mayor. And in the late spring, a group called itself the League of Rusting claimed Cavern Walls on behalf of the Spire of Wealth. That was okay. So that's a new one. So that's a group that's actually moved off. Where does this little group go to? Where are they heading off to? It's just showing sort of like that one there. No, it goes past that little area. These can be invasions. That one there maybe. Yeah, Spire of Wealth again created that one. There's a lot of different things that have happened through there. So there's all these little areas are the current rumours that we actually have around the place. But I'm not seeing wars. I'm not seeing the movement of enemies. I mean, these can be, but we're just not seeing them. So these are all just sort of like this is the information we got from the liaison. Yeah, so actually the dwarves are heading out to try to reclaim their lands. Just see where this one actually ends up coming from. It takes a long time for it to get off the map. There's also the one in the south as well. See if we can sort of see it. The south one will probably, there it goes. It goes from there. Dark Human Fortress. So the humans have taken over this particular Dark Fortress. That's interesting. So that's a Confederation of Dawn Alliance. So that's actually not an enemy at all. They're actually now just moving other humans up into other zones. So we missed where this one was coming from. These are all going to be Dark Goblin Pits. There's a 10,000 population Goblin Fortress of Vulture's Hounds in through there as well. Anyway, that's the... I love this aspect of it. Civilizations, we still only know about ours. There's no missing citizens. There's artifacts around the world that we sort of are aware of. Just go and click on done. These are still being built. Just let the game unpause just so we can sort of start to move forward. Got a lot of work to do here. Get rid of these badges. Food and drink is really healthy. Seeds are okay. Meat's okay. Plants are okay. That's all good. Starting to get this established now. Oh, here we go. We've got ourselves a Pered, the human bowman, has come and visited. Yeah, winter is upon us. I don't know why he's wandering around. This always is a bit suspicious when they come and scout out your fortress. He's actually going down now to the underground to have a look around. So he's got 2 lovers, 3 children. He's 88 years old. That's old for the human. He wants to attend a meeting. So we'll look and see who he's going to actually talk to. No activity now. So he's an adequate. Now he wants a petition to eradicate monsters. We're going to deny that. Sorry, you can head off. Off you go. We're not interested. Get out of here, you stinking human. And he's going to leave the map. But he had a good look around, which is always a bit of a problem. That there is actually our plans for the fortress at the top. And we'll start to... One of the other interesting things with this siege one is that if we go back into here with the constructions, we actually now have a new area in through here, which is the reinforced wall. So you can build reinforced walls above ground in caverns or in spaces you have mined out in order to block the passage of creatures, objects, and fluids. Require 2 boulder, block, or wood, and metal bars. So one thing I do want to do is we might just go a bit down. I think we'll smelt tetrahedrite as well. So we'll start the smelting process once we actually just get to our workshop layer, which is, so we're still, actually this is good, Beacon's smashing that out, which is great. And if we just go back down into this particular layer, so they haven't built any of this yet. I won't make that a top priority. There's other things to be done. These also haven't been built, so everyone's busy doing other things. We desperately need another influx of workers. Even though we've got the 13 population, 2 of them are kids. So we've got 11. So the farmer here is processing plants, milking. There's milking animals is going to be done here as well now. So which is fine. Yeah. So we're only just starting to. Now, what are you doing? You're weaving thread into silk. And these are all from the work orders that we've established. So as long as they've got the workshop, they'll then start to automate the what has to be done. And here we're preparing lavish meals, easy meals and fine meals. We've got heaps of badger tallow, which can be then used for soap making. They'll also use this to go and collect threads. They collect the spider webs. Good, the kids are building the nest boxes, so they're involved. Here we go. Welcome, guys. We've got 340 raiders from Arvark. I'll just pause and we'll just go through and do a bit of a summary. So welcome along, guys. That's great to see you all. And we bring tea, says Death. Thank you. Another of my favourite YouTubers says Edwin Wonder. Yeah, so that's great. Arvark plays a lot of games that I love. So yeah, so welcome, guys. And Daz, you got mail? Right, here we go. Yes. So Daz is in the zone. Well, I'll go and I'll talk about what we've got in this particular fortress, and we'll sort of just go through. I'm trying to get to a point where we end up with a siege as fast as possible, but I'm not sure if that's going to actually happen. So all right. So anyway, let's go through what we have. So with the fortress, with the actual, this is the overworld, of course, and you'll sort of see that there's actually all these little brown splodges everywhere. This is actually haunted or evil locations. So I've got a way of building a map that makes it really super evil. So we've got lots and lots of evil things actually happening. So our fortress is in here, and we're inside a haunted biome. So there's 3 different levels. The terrifying biomes, there is actually a big forest nearby, that one there. This is a terrifying forest. They make creatures that are too big for dwarves to really contend with, so I didn't bother going there, but I did go into this haunted sort of I guess it's a light woodland area is where sort of where we started. We also then used DF hack to create a war initially with the goblins that were around us. So we've got that war happening. And so we've got those. There's lots more forgotten beasts in this world as well, and lots more vampires and werebeasts and things happening in here than the standard game. So the difficulty is very, very high. What we've also then done is with the difficulty in here in the settings is gone to and customized the enemies. So we've just gone through and made these triggers much, much lower. So the triggers are much, much lower through here, which means that we're much more likely to trigger sieges. So sieges, then there's a whole lot of stuff in here that's now new. I've shortened the Mega Beast attack periods. I've shortened all of these as well to make it more difficult. Vampire migration factor. Typically that's 100, so I've made it so that we've got a 1 in 45 chance of getting vampires coming through the migrations. Now you also have raids, and there's like ambushes and sieges, and an ambush is like where they sneak in and see what they can find out, whereas a siege is a full-blown siege, and so I've shortened that down to try to get more sieges. So hopefully we'll get a siege at some point. Anyway, that's this is also the new stuff. Invaders can break constructed walls, can dig natural walls, can build floors and stairs, and can free creatures from cages. So that's all new stuff as well. So anyway, we've sort of made that a lot more difficult than the standard game with what's going on. And yeah, and so with the haunted biome, the one thing we do actually have is we have like this haunted ash that is coming. We're sort of just telling ourselves it's coming from a volcano. Actually, it looks like it's all been cleaned up now. There's been sort of like this one here, like this badger sour corpse. You can see there, this one has come through the creeping soot, which is something that nauseates anything that goes through it. So it's only outside, so that actually comes through as well because we're in the haunted biome. So you'll see that there's going to be vomit around a little bit, maybe up here. Have we still got vomit? Just going up. Yeah, there's still piles of vomit. This is actually anything that actually hits the soot from the top is going to end up sort of violently throwing up. So we're sort of avoiding going into the top if we can help it. And we're still in the early stages of building. So yeah, Avak's saying, I love haunted / sinister biomes. Yeah, I love them. I can't play anything other than that, to be honest. It's just, it makes it so much more interesting. We also have what's called DasDemption, which is essentially the characters that get named, and so we've got a list of people who have redeemed names, and if their character dies, they get banned. So we've got a few people. We've got one person that's been banned so far, where wolves broke in and attacked the fortress, like in the last session. So that's sort of where we are. So we're still in the very, very early stages of building up the fortress at this point in time. Just trying to get things established. We're waiting for the next migration wave. And yeah, hopefully that will sort of all kick in. This is our sort of main stockpile from when we first arrived. So we're still making use of this. We're going to be building up more stockpiles fairly soon. That should be, yeah, that's slated for removal. I don't have enough workers at the moment to be able to do anything. Yeah, so it's not super difficult actually with what we're doing. And we've got one person trying to smooth out. This is our hospital. And this is built for were creatures, this particular hospital. I'll just go and put in the more of the doors that we are going to be needing. We've got the planner on. So I'll just go and throw these in here. And what I like to have is I'll put a door here as well. So I'll place a door there. For these, I've actually got them so that they've got like an extra slot. And what we'll do is we'll just go and place another stockpile just in here, just a small, very, very small stockpile at that point. And this one's going to be for blocks. And so we can use this, if there's door smashes that end up being in the hospital, we can then end up blocking them into the actual rooms. So this can be difficult if we've got, for example, like were creatures, and so we just want to be able to smash those so that they can't actually do anything. So we go bars and blocks there, go to custom, And so we don't want, I'm just going to go none. So we've got the blocks of stone or clay. I'm just going to go, I'll just go all with those. And so any block that's any stone or clay block, I'll allow that to actually sit in this zone. So we'll just go allow that to be positioned. That way we can very quickly sort of go and build things. So that sort of gives us a, particularly when you're playing in haunted or reanimating biomes and stuff like that, it just makes it, having the blocks in there as a safety feature. And that'll then sort of stop them from doing what they're doing. We've got certain traps around the place as well. This is going to be our main entrance up to the top of the fortress. And it's going to be nothing much other than just access to what will ultimately be the actual fortress itself. But I'm going to need a whole lot of blocks up in here as well. So I might actually even get, I've got microline blocks, which I'm starting to, oh, hang on, was that a thief? There was a thieving creature I just saw down the bottom there. There's a cloud of creeping soot has now drifted in, so there's going to be soot somewhere on the map, which will be blowing through somewhere. Can't see it there. Anyway, that's all right. Might be old. So our military dwarves are getting attached to different things. That's all fine as well. So we'll just keep on going back. Actually, one thing I haven't done is set up my my stand. I've got the F1 is set up to go to where we started off, but I haven't done the. So I press H, I can then just go back through and just get things sort of set up. So I'll just go and position that entrance there with the so the wagon arrival, and just go. Yep, we'll proceed with that one. So we should actually now go and rename all of these as well. So we're still in the very early stages. So Death is saying, I saw from another streamer having a pit of undead. So if you have a room of undead, you can unleash on sieging enemies. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, because you can easily capture the undead. They just stumble into your traps. But they, when you're in an animating biome, you end up with just so many of them. Our last fortress is just inundated with them. All right, so we've got the. Now, SS Man is saying, "I love the look of this menu system. Could you do more in depth about it?" Which menu system are you talking about? Sorry, I'm not sure which one you mean. So, if you can be specific, I can try to answer that for you. So, with this one through here, we've got with wagon arrival. Different things I'm going to be wanting. I'm going to be wanting to have my meeting hall. So, I'll just make that one. Up the top there. We'll eventually change this one to the top of the fortress. We've got the meeting hall. We've got the, in this one here, we'll make this one the workshops. Bedrooms. These are going to be a bit all over the place. Bedrooms, farms. So I'm just going to name these and then we'll just allocate where they actually are. At this stage, that's pretty much all it is, or hospital. Hospital as well. All right, so we just go down through the fortress and just allocate each one of these. So as we come back down, the meeting hall is on this layer. So I'll just go and position that one in around there somewhere. That's going to be my lever room eventually, up the top there. So meeting hall is that one there. Workshops further down. And I'll just keep that one. Looks like we've got some rotten food in that side. So this is workshops. Bedrooms go further up. They come up to here. Just start them off around here somewhere. Farms go further down below. That's down in here. Actually, is that too far up? Yeah, it's down this way. Yeah. I'll just make, this is sort of like the main layer that we've got for farming and also for the animals. So I'll just go and put that one there. So that's that location for the farming. So I've only got 3 farms established at this stage, which is pretty much enough at this point in time. I've blocked this one off for the animals, but I haven't put a door there. I'll come back to that after we do the hospital. So still really just establishing everything. Oops, that's too far up. Just go back down again. There we are. So this has got the well and then the hospital as well. So I'll just go and position that one in around there somewhere. This is a very important location. All right, done. So so we've now got, we can now just go from F1 to F2 to get to the meeting hall, F3 workshops, F4 bedrooms, F5 farms, and F6 the hospital. So we sort of quickly sort of move around the fortress now, which will be handy. I've pretty much now got all the workshops established. So that was what, F3. Yep. So the workshops are here now. There is, it must be rotten. There's something that something has gone off. And we haven't actually put down very many stockpiles at all, actually. We've only got rid of the one stockpile that we started off with, so we are going to be wanting to get better stockpiles for food and drink in around these sorts of zones. I'll just wait for everything else to be built, though, initially. Down below here, oh, here we go. We've got we've got things that are going off. We've got rotten prepared badger brain roast. So these are, we don't have the storage for these. So these are like lavish meals and stuff that we've actually created, and no one ate. So it's the food that's gone off there. This was sort of like a refuse pile, which we had to go and quickly put down. Now that's badger. Yeah, they're still butchering the badgers. So we've got all these different badger bits and pieces, which will end up sort of pushing off elsewhere. So they are throwing different things away as they're constructing it down in here. I might just try to make that a top priority just to see it. Yeah, there we go. Zaradin will at least get some of these things built. Getting these kilns built, I don't really need these done, but I'll just let them keep on sort of coming back through. That's our glass making. That one's now been made as well. That's good. So we can now go up into the stockpiles and through here. We've got so much lignite and so on and so forth in around here, which I'm going to be using in the smelters. And we'll sort of cheat a little bit with those, but I'll just wait for these to be built. Here we go. Sev can make that. That's fine. And I'll make that a top priority as well. So Bjorf can make that one. All right. What I might do is, here we go, they're just going off to milk the animals. What I might do is make the, once we get these things established. So we now actually have, we can't make another metalsmith forge because we don't have the iron to make anything else. So I need to go to my wood burner. Now I do actually have in my work orders, I think, no I don't actually. I'm just going to go and add in the, I've got, these are all the basic stuff, which doesn't include the metal. So I'm just going to go in and import another grouping, which I've got, which is just the DAS Steel Industry. Again, if you want this for your work orders, the starter orders are just the basic orders for just having stuff enough to get you started. And then the Steel Industry goes through specifically what you need to get Steel Industry up and running. So I'm just going to import that one in. And if you do want it, it's on my coffee.com page. So coffee.fi/DasTactic, .com/DasTactic, which will then actually, and I've just put that in there. It doesn't, it's just, all my mods end up being in there. So you can just put a 0 amount and grab that if you're interested. So same with the weld generation. I might just show you just in case you're interested in that one. Fi.com DasTactic. So when you come in, there will be like the shop stuff, and you can see there Dwarf Fortress work order scripts. There's also the it's just free. You just go and click on it. Essentially, put 0 in there, and just go and get it now. And what it is it's just a couple of those JSON files just to give you the basic work orders if you do want them. So there's that, and there's also the one that I have. I'll just go to the shop. There's also the Dwarf Fortress World generation settings as well, which the ones that have now, I've just updated that a few days ago, which just got like the all the necromancers, the forgotten beasts, so we're playing with Daz Evil Island in this particular run. So you can grab that there for 0 as well if you are wanting those. So they should hopefully make your this will make it easy, like a bit more easy to set up. I don't like the if you go to import, they've got these library ones like library basic, furnace, etc. There's more stuff in here than what you need, and so I've just made my own. I find that a little bit easier. So anyway, that's now been done, and we now actually have all of the steel making, which is essentially also the iron making. So we've got smelt hematite smelt hematite ore back in through there, magnetite and limonite. These are the three ores that make up iron. We can make charcoal at the wood burners now, and so we'll start to now see these will then kick in. Like these are all the ones, anything with a tick has been sort of allocated by the manager. But if we just go and, I'll just go and right click and just watch the manager will, after a day or so, will then sort of go through and allocate different positions into these. There we go, it's making ash there. So it's already had the ash to make for the soap making. We haven't seen it down through there yet. So the soap makers will start to work their way through. We'll just let that one continue on. And that one doesn't have anything just yet. We'll just wait for the manager to kick in. Now we also have tetrahedrite, which I definitely want to be starting to make things out of copper. So I'll probably end up making copper reinforced walls for the top of the fortress. So we might throw that in as well, just to do just to smelt tetrahedrite. There we go. We're making charcoal now. So charcoal has now been added to the mix. Charcoal is the fuel that is required to run the smelters and also the forges. So the forge will need the fuel from here to then go and create the stuff that's in here. So what we need to do is we need to start to now establish our workshops, our stockpiles to make that more effective. So I'm just going to clean this up using, I'm just going to cheat basically. So what have I got? I've got microline there and dolomite. I want the lignite to be separate because this is something we do want to keep hold of. So I'm just going to go into this one here. I can then go and designate items for dumping. I'm just anything that's lignite that looks like this is just going to be grabbed. So I'll just grab all the lignite and move that somewhere. So we need that for the coke, for the steel. So we don't want to use that for anything else. And I don't want it getting caught up in amongst the other rocks. So I'll clean that one out. There's no more lignite back over here. There may be other stuff elsewhere. I'll just bring it down because we're ultimately going to be needing it. I might just position it just up here on the floor. So if I just go back across now to my DF hack and go to GUI auto dump and double click there, all that lignite will now just be positioned there. So it's a nice clean way of actually just moving the rocks around. I only do it with rocks. I've got cassiterite, which is, what are you? You are a ore of tin. Okay, so we've got cassiterite as well. Tin is not all that useful to us. There's more lignite down in here as well. Let's just go back up and clean up this area. So the rest of these things, these rocks in here, other than the clusters and the metal, so we've got a bit of hematite there as well. Actually, I might just get these things out. So let's just go and do the same deal. Dump, get those, and we'll go and position them in this jeweler's area. So we'll just go and GUI auto dump there. So it's now just got those little gems just positioned. I haven't made a stockpile here, but that's essentially just where they're going to be positioned. We'll get the hematite and we'll move this down to where we're going to be then sort of smelting the metals. So we'll ultimately move this across elsewhere. So dump that way and that one. Everything else is just going to be rock after this. We'll just go back down into this layer. GUI auto dump. And we'll just position that over here. They've just got a few little piles. I can clean up this whole layer as well. You can see there's a lot of hematite down through here as well. So we'll start to sort of just clean up the fortress. The rest of this stuff is all just rock. So let's go and get rid of all of it. So set them up for dump. It just gives us a nice clean area. If you don't like the cheating, you can just hide them so you don't even see them. But in this case, I'm just going to pop them down in here with this. There's a stone. I've got a stone pile there as well. I'll just go and from where I've been cleaning things up. So we'll just go and auto dump and just position all of those there. So we've now got a clean area to work with, which is going to be good. So we now just need to sort of start to figure out what we need for our steel making. And also for the other minerals and things like that as well. So we're going to ultimately have the raw hematite will ultimately end up in a different position. So we need the lignite in through here as well, and we need to actually make this one should start to have. There we go. We're making coke from lignite, and so if we go through the bit of the process, the easiest way to look at the process for steel making is to go across to the Dwarf Fortress wiki and just type in steel, and we'll just have a bit of a look to see what the process actually is. And so there's a whole lot of stuff we need to go and do to ultimately get steel, but we're going to start off just with iron, and we'll just get the building blocks ready for it. So we're going to be building stockpiles for the process. So the necessary ingredients in through here are 2 bars of iron, 2 units of flux, 4 units of fuel. So it should have more than that actually. So step 1, use 1 iron bar to create pig iron. So we need to actually ultimately end up with pig iron as well. So we end up doing, so to make pig iron you need 1 flux stone, you need 1 source of fuel, which is the charcoal, you need and a bar of iron. So we need to first of all create iron, then we need to create pig iron. Then we need to also have an area where we've got flux stone. Flux stone is like chalk. We've got lots of chalk in the fortress, so we can just have like a chalk stockpile for the flux stone. Then we've got the bar produces 1 bar of pig iron. We then need to combine the pig iron with a second iron bar to produce steel. So we've got another bar of iron, bar of pig iron, another flux stone, another unit of fuel, and then we need another source of fuel as well. So actually we've got a unit of fuel as a source of carbon, but that's where the lignite will then kick in as well. So that's essentially going to be the coke. So that's essentially what we're going to end up with to create steel. So we might as well set up the what we need into here to go and do that one above these smelters. So we'll start off with just one side being what we need. So let's just go and build the different stockpiles that we require. So the first one will be I'll just go the raw resources here of magnetite and hematite. And it's like, so just the metal stockpiles, I'll just go and accept. And so these will be a stone stockpile. I'll just do it bit by bit. It's going to be a little bit time consuming, but anyway. And then we go to custom. I'm going to turn none of the economic, none of the other stone, another clay. So with the metal ores, I only want to have hematite, which limonite and magnetite. They're the only 3 I want in that particular stockpile. So it's going to be the raw stockpile for the iron. So that's going to be our iron, our raw iron. At that point, we then create iron bars. So we'll go and create like another stockpile. So we'll go to, so that one's now done. Another stockpile. And I'll make this one, this is going to be bars of iron, and they're going to be inside, these are just going to be individually laid out, so this one doesn't have to be all that big to get the iron. So just make it 2 wide, and we'll accept, and this will then have bins of bars of iron. So we go to bars and blocks, and go to custom, and we've got none of those. We want bars of metal, not blocks of metal. And blocks of other materials, nope. So with the metal, in here all we want is iron. So we just go down. So we're going to be very, very specific about what we actually want. So iron bars there, that's done. And then we have flux stone, so we need to get just chalk in this one. So we're going to have, there's a few different flux stones. If you're unsure of what they are, you can go into, not stocks, go into the any of these sort of labor type menus and just go to stone use, and then you'll find that stuff, for example, like chalk, make steel bars, make pig iron bars, make quicklime, is a flux stone. So anything that looks like this sort of shape, almost like a cube, like a sort of rough cube, will often be flux stones. So calcite, chalk, dolomite, these are all essentially, we can also make quicklime out of these other two, but we can still, these are flux stones. So dolomite, there's a few of them, and it's pretty common. Limestone, marble is, so these are all different flux stones, or they all look like this. And we've got heaps of them in our fortress, so we don't really need to have it, but I'll just put it there so we've got a stockpile of them. So we'll just go across and paint the area. And again, these are going to be individual, so I'll just make them a little bit larger than what they would normally be, except this will be a stone stockpile. And then customize. So no metals, economic stone, yes, because they are economic stones. So with the economic stones, just going to go none, but we do want to have calcite, chalk, dolomite. I won't worry about gypsum at this stage, limestone, and marble. That's them. So that will then be the so we'll just make them out of, if we've got any of those. So they'll be the flux stones. From that we then create pig iron bars. So we need to make another stockpile. This is quite complex, but it's sort of like the process for making for what we need. So we'll accept that. This is going to be a bars and blocks again. Go to customize. This will be another metal one, so we just go none of those, none of those, none of those, and none of those. And so the bars here will be only pig iron. So we just have pig iron through there. That way we can just look and see what we've actually got for what we need. From pig iron, we're also then going to be needing to have coke. So these are also bars, so we don't need a big area for that either. So if I just go and create another zone in here, accept bars and blocks, customize. In this case, there's no metal, but there will be bars of other materials, so we don't need any blocks. Just get rid of those. So the other material is going to be essentially coal, is essentially what we're looking for here. So all these other things go, but coal stays on. So coal is coke. That will be the bars of coal will be the bars of coke that we end up with there. So that's those, and then finally at the end of that process we then end up with steel. So we'll go and add another stockpile in through here, another grouping in through here for just bars of steel. So we'll accept bars and blocks, custom, none of those, none of those, none of those, and none of those. And so these metal bars, none of those except for steel. So we'll now be able to see exactly what we're getting from the other bits and pieces that we actually end up having. So we've got steel down through that side. What we'll also do is we do want to get bars of copper and silver and also tin. So we're going to be wanting to get some other stockpiles. But these are nowhere near as important as this one. So that's now our full stockpile where we can very quickly see that's a steel, that's the coke, etc., etc. So we can sort of start to ultimately see what we end up having through here. What we can do also is I can turn off the actual bins, but I want to keep the bins where they actually are there for that. All right, so that's going to be the process for getting those. Let's now go and make stockpiles for the other bars. So we'll just go and make another stockpile up in here and accept. This will be for tetrahedrite. So this will be for stone. So like tetrahedrite is something else we've mined in this fortress. So none, none, and none there. A metal ores in through here will be literally just tetrahedrite down the bottom there. So, and then tetrahedrite, if I go and find, whoops, I've gone up a little bit. If I find tetrahedrite, that looks like tetrahedrite there. Yep, this is silver and copper. So it mainly makes copper, but it also makes silver. So what we'll do is we'll then make it so that once we actually get the tetrahedrite up into that location, see there's more tetrahedrite in around here, we've got a lot of it. So we'll get the tetrahedrite up into, which zone is it? It's further down here. So that's, I'll just make doubly sure that was just tetrahedrite. And then we just make a couple of locations here for silver. Accept. Bars and blocks, customize, I'll just go none, then metal, and then we'll just go back down to silver. So bars of silver. Another one down here for bars of copper. I'm going to ultimately, I should end up with a lot of copper eventually in the fortress. I'm going to use that for other things, but we'll just see how we go here. So accept bars and blocks, custom, none, and just go straight to the metal and then just go down to copper. So we get copper bars there. There's one other, we got the, I think it's cassiterite that we actually have in the fortress. Just have a quick look for that as well. So just looking for a different coloured metal. Nothing else in there. This is all either hematite or magnetite. Just see what we can find. Tetrahedrite again. Tetrahedrite all the way through there. So this is all going to be where we get the silver from. Silver and the copper. You can see we've got a lot of it. I'm sure I saw cassiterite somewhere. I'm not going to see it up the top there. Might be further down. What's that? That's tetrahedrite there as well. If we don't have much cassiterite, I probably won't even bother with it. Actually, while we're here, let's just put this door in, just so we can actually sort of keep the animals enclosed. The badgers have been trying to break through to attack the animals. Doors there. All right, that'll be okay. So this is like a pen for the animals. No, I'm not seeing any cassiterite. I'm not sure where it is. I don't know where I saw it. Anyway, let's not worry about it. We'll just leave it where that is. But one thing we haven't done is that we haven't given it an order for. We've only given an order for smelting the coke and also the yeah. So it's still making coke from lignite. It will eventually go. Oh, there it is. There's the cassiterite there. Cassiterite, and this is for tin. So we might as well pop that in there as well, just so we've actually got it. So it's not very much of it, but there's going to be a little bit of it there, just so we can sort of go up to it. Just go and position another cassiterite area through this other side. So we just go into stockpiles. Might as well just do it while we're here. Accept, stone, custom, none, metal ores, cassiterite. There we go, and then we just need the little tin area in through here as well. Accept, bars and blocks, custom, none, and tin. Now we may end up with other stuff as well, but we can always just keep on adding it into the mix of stuff that comes down this way. There's stuff also like, ultimately we're going to be putting furniture and stuff like that up in through here. Stone stockpiles will probably just keep on doing the cheaty way, like with just the piles in through this other side. So I think I'll make a massive furniture stockpile back up this way. Just make it off to the side here. And except, in this case, it's just going to be literally furniture up the top there. So just make it into purely a furniture stockpile. I won't worry about all the stuff that we've got up through here. I'll just leave that completely fully furniture, which means I can now go back up to the top of my fortress into this catch-all and just go and change so we don't have any furniture there. So I'll just go none there. And food, I haven't actually got a food stockpile. We're going back here, which is not great. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that we don't want to be doing. I'll keep all these others because we didn't do any of the other. Actually, no, we've got coal. We don't want to put coal in there. Ultimately, we don't want to put ash in there either, but I'll just go back through these now and just get rid of the copper. iron, pig iron, silver, and tin and steel. So any bars we get of those, I don't want them in that particular stockpile. So I just start to get rid of the stuff in the stockpile that we don't want. All right, let's just unpause the game and just sort of let them start to develop this a little bit. We need to get this bedroom layer established. We're starting to now get a few of these things done. I'll just start to now set these up where we've got what we actually do need. So we'll just go back in and go back into our furniture and with the beds. And again, we just got the planner. I'll just put the bed in the corner. Only where we've got things that have been smoothed out. That one has technically been smoothed out. And we can also then just put some of the doors in where they've also been smoothed. Doors and hatches. Actually, that bed could have been placed down there as well. So I need to now move with a little bit more oomph. And we can put a bed there as well. So as the beds are built, these will then be positioned in these rooms. We also want to have an area where they can actually put their clothes. So we can either put a cabinet or a chest. I'll put a cabinet in, used for personal bedrooms for storing clothing objects. If we go to a chest, as used for storing non-clothing objects. So the cabinet is for the clothes. So we'll just go and position that one wherever it's smooth, sort of in line with the door. And actually I can put a bed there as well. And a door there. So we'll eventually get these sorted out. And then below the beds, what we'll do is put the chest in there. So we need a cabinet and a chest in the bedrooms. So technically you can get away with like a 3x1 area for a bedroom, but I'd like the neatness of having them established like this. So we'll just let them sort of smooth everything else out, and then we'll actually allocate actual bedrooms. So the people are coming in to sleep as the beds are positioned. So these will be they're not allocated as bedrooms just yet. Let's just go back into more furniture, chests. Just put them at the foot of the beds. Again, only when it's been smoothed out, and that's just for neatness. Just because I'm very anal with this sort of stuff. Just keep on the beds coming as well. Looks like what's his name, Diner Dash or whatever, is doing a good job there. Got the beds allocated there. We'll place that one that side. Yep, so we're starting to now get it all done. So the beds are being built fairly fast, which is good actually. So this is like a complete bedroom, nearly, once that's been done. And we've got more of the cabinets back down this way. Hi, Sick777, how you going? Why tin? What's tin good for? Not much. But you can ultimately sell it. You can make little knickknacks out of it, like tin toys or something. So I'll still smelt it. Actually, well, that's one thing we haven't done, is we haven't given the work orders to smelt those different things. So what I want to do is I want to make bars out of those bits and pieces. So we'll just go into our work orders and manually add them in. So we can see that we're making charcoal, we're making lignite. We don't have any of these smelting the hematite ore. Why is that? We need refined coal. So we want refined coal to be at least 100. So that's a lot. I think we'll change that number down to say 20. Oh, hang on, that's... Yeah, so we want to have at most 40 iron bars. We can even go more than that, but let's just go with it 20. So once we get to 20 coal, we will then, so we're making coal at the moment. If I go to stocks, go to bars, got 17 at the moment. So we'll just keep them coming. And so with the work orders, we'll just go back now down to smelting. So we haven't done the smelting of the other bits and pieces, but so we've got the, so we're still making coke from bituminous coal, making coke from lignite. We don't have any bituminous coal, so that one just won't kick in if we don't actually have it. So that's fine. We'll just go and add another one in, which will be, I can just do a search in through here. So tetrahedrite, smelt tetrahedrite ore, done. And I'll do another one as well, which will be the cassiterite. Double S, yeah, there we go. Cassiterite ore. So we'll just go and put them into what we're doing, and we'll just do, say, 5 at a time. So we'll just go and tell them that the number is going to be just 5 and 5. But these are just one-off orders, so I just need to come back into here. And so in this case, the tetrahedrite, I want to keep on going and like until we've really much sort of used silver. So we need to have, first of all, we need to make sure that we've got enough tetrahedrite. We need to have enough refined coal. And so we've now got 17, so we've got more than what we need. But this is not as important as iron, so I will actually ramp this one up a little bit. Then we've got the silver bars, it will be the defining thing in through here. So if we've got tetrahedrite is at least, I'll just go is at least 10. So as long as we've got, say, 10 tetrahedrite, not that I need to worry about that one. In fact, I'll just make it, so if it's at least 5, make 5. So we'll just wait until we've got 5 of them. So we'll just keep on smelting tetrahedrite. The refined coal, we'll actually change that one up to, well, the other one we did is 20, so I'll make this one, say, 30. And this one will be as is at least 30. So if once we get to 30, we can then flip from iron making to silver making. So we'll go that way. And the amount of silver bars available is, and this is, again, I'll just go and do it, is at least, is at most. We're going to be wanting to have a fair few of these. So at most, let's just make it, say, 50. So then we'll sort of stop at 50. So in this case, we won't start smelting this until we get to the amount of coal that's required at 30. So that one's okay. We can have a look at the coal as well. So if we go to lignite, which is what we're using for this one. So the amount of coke is at most, so it's actually going up to 100. Let's make it 150. So that way we end up with a lot of it. So we'll just keep on sort of having a lot of them in reserve. So that's the tetrahedrite now, and we'll go to the cassiterite as well. And so this one is going to be when the cassiterite, when we've got enough of those, when we've got refined coal, and then tin bars in through here. So because only 20% of the tetrahedrite will become silver, we're going to end up with a glut of copper. So we'll end up with that anyway. We don't need to check for the copper. We can just check for the silver. Cassiterite is greater than 5. Which is now satisfied, and again is at least 5. The amount of refined coal, I'm going to make this one, say, 40. So we'll just keep on ramping it up, because this is not important at all. In fact, I might even make it, say, 50 or 60. Just so this can be a limiting factor. So that way we prioritize the iron and prioritize the silver. And then we really want to stop this one. So this greater than, I'll just go is at most, is at least 60. Yep, so at least 60 refined coal before we start to make this one. And then we'll stop this one when the tin bars are at most. And we've got 10. I'll make it so that we end up with, say, about 40 or so. So we're just going to have it sort of looping through at this point in time. So that's now got all of our metals established. We'll just have a quick look at the steel. So we've got just have a look back up this area a little bit. Come on, just not wanting to play. So hematite, we do have magnetite as well. I don't think we've got limonite on the map that I've seen. So we'll just go back and through at 20, and then most iron bars 40 is not really enough. I'll say 100 because we will be needing a lot of iron. Magnetite as well. It's at least 20, and again, just make this one at least 100. And the limonite, I'm pretty sure we don't have this on the map. Yeah, it's not satisfied. But I'll still change this one to 100. And I might as well just still make this one 20, just in case we do come across it. Okay, so that's the limonite making charcoal. So if we have a quick look at this one through here, it's going to, the amount of refined coal is, this is the fuel, is going to be at 100. I might just change that up to 150. And so that's the charcoal. This is the wood burning. And then the coke from lignite. Oops, that's okay. We'll just get that one out. At most 150, that's okay. Bituminous coal we don't have on the map, so that's okay. The pig iron bars. We'll change this one where the refined coal is, I'll just change that one down to, say, 30. And so we need to have iron bars. We need flux boulders for this one as well. So at least 5, that's fine. That's not really a problem. We don't have any iron at this stage. Pig iron bars, we'll stop them at 40. I'm actually happy with that as well. So that's all okay. So we'll slowly sort of make our way through and then finally get to these steel bars, where steel, and we stop them at 100 steel bars, which I'm happy with as well. Refined coal is 40. I think I'll change that to 40 as well. And so this one requires the iron bars, pig iron bars, the flux boulders, refined coal, and the steel bars. So this final one is actually quite a lot to do. Excuse me. So that will be what we end up doing with what we have there. We can then use the copper to actually reinforce the rocks for the sieges. So anyway, that's got all that established now. Just let these keep on coming back through. We haven't had any attacks for a little while. Smoothing all this out. And just keep on making all of these as we go through. And we need to get the doors in as well. I could just tell it to focus on the actual rooms themselves for a little while, but I just want to keep it nice and clean. So we'll just do it bit by bit. In this case, we've got the I've got a petition coming up as well. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. So we've got the furniture chest back in there. Actually, I've got to make another one. Furniture chest there as well. And there. And there. Cabinet. I'll just keep on making these bedrooms up as everything gets smoothed out. Again, I could have just focused on just the floor. That might be a cleaner way to do this other area actually. I might just ditch the commands here. Just stop him from smoothing the walls until we've actually done with the floors. Or her, sorry. Keep that one coming through. The bring that one up, that one across, and that one down. And to be honest, these through the middle here don't matter either. Let's just get we'll just focus purely on the rooms, and go from there. So petition. This is Sheen Lake Partners. I'm not going to even worry about who they are. I'm just going to deny it. Poults have hatched, that's good, so we're now starting to get more turkeys. Yep, there we go. Lady Consort is visiting. So we're establishing all sorts of different, we're building all sorts of different things here, which is good. So let them continue on with this. We've almost got this ready to be able to then allocate as bedrooms. So furniture, bed, place those in there. That's now got all of those sort of allocated at least. The furniture, cabinets, there and there. That one hasn't been smoothed yet. Doesn't matter for the cabinets, but the as long as the beds have been allocated and the doors have been allocated, that's the other important thing. We can then sort of create the bedrooms automatically. So we'll go and do that now. So this area has actually now got at least one bed allocated everywhere. So we'll now just go into the zones. We're going to go into bedrooms, and we're going to go into multi. So select a rectangle which contains beds in order to form bedrooms. So room with multiple beds will be made into dormitory. So in this case, because we've got the doors, even though they're not positioned, oh, there's one there, that's one's missing. So we'll just go back into that side as well. Otherwise it becomes a big open area. And so in this case, even with those planned allocations for beds, etc., that's enough to make the bedrooms. So we're going to go multi again. I'm just going to go and drag over that, and it automatically then creates the bedrooms in there. So 10 bedrooms created, done. And so we don't have to do anything else with those other than just keep on building building what they need, which is the furniture. So furniture, chest, there and there. So we've got a bit of smoothing to do there before we can actually allocate the next one across. But at least there's 10 bedrooms. We've got 13 people. 2 of them are kids and some of them are married. So 10 will be enough for what we actually need initially. But even if they don't, we do actually have these other bedrooms now that are sort of positioned out through this other side. Good, they've all sort of got their own bedrooms now. That one didn't get, we'll just resume construction. Because there's stuff there, it can't get rid of it. But we'll just micro this one, and we might even sort of get set ready to go. There we go. So we're now slaughtering the poults for food because we've got too many. This is just automatic, which is great. I'll just wait for all this to be done, and then we'll come back in and clean this all up. But this is good. We've sort of, at least we've now got a bedroom layer. That one should be okay now. Here we go, early spring. So we're into the next year now, 301. Still nothing has happened yet in the fortress. So I'll just keep it paused and we'll just read a few of the comments. Sorry, I've missed a few. It cannot reach site. Should be able to though. Should be able to get there. We'll see what happens there. So where did we get up to? So I'll just read the comments that I'm up to. So Redshirt has redeemed a custom reward. So yep, we've got you in the list. There's a big long list of waiting for the dwarves to arrive. So that's what's the thieving creature? It keeps on reporting. Sorry, I might have missed a few others. I'll just see where I got up to. Yep, so X is saying, am I still alive? Yes, you are. So, yes, it's everyone except Adrian. Adrian was the only one that got killed by the wolves. So what's the thieving creature? It keeps on reporting. Probably a rat, and probably outside. So what's going to happen is it's not going to be inside the fortress. It's not like a skulking creature. Otherwise, it would stay listed down in the bottom corner, and so that would then end up being there'll be something outside that probably comes in off the edge of where we can't quite see it. Like there may be something out here somewhere that just sort of appears every so often, then sort of disappears again. So it'll be something like through here, like where there'll be some rat or something that will come through as a thieving creature. That's what it will most likely be. It could be a kobold, but that should be at the top. But then we should keep sight of it if that's the case. So and then we'll get other messages if it's actually something we have to worry about. Coloroni is saying a new update available. Dwarves absolutely. Sorry, the new update absolutely dwarfs the old game. It does actually. It's pretty cool. Hi, Desma, how you going? So you're new here, that's well welcome. And newbie at Dwarf Fortress as well. Played some back in 2012, 2014 in high school, picked it up today. Oh, look, if you're playing this new version, it's so much more approachable than what it has been in the past. It does a lot more different things with it as well. It's an incredible game, really, at this point in time. It's so much more immersive, having all the graphics and stuff. It's still, at its core, it's still the same basic game, but it's just been improved dramatically. But it is more, it is a lot easier to get into. So Desmond is saying, I have a question for you all. Should I make a new fortress after the tutorial or continue with the same one? The tutorial, I haven't played the tutorial for a long time. And to be honest, I always found it a little bit not all that great. Like it's okay to go through the principles of what to do. It doesn't really matter. I think it wouldn't matter whichever way you want to do it. I like playing really difficult forts, although this has not been that difficult so far. But this is so I've sort of set myself up for failure, hopefully fairly early on. But most people aren't doing that one. We're starting to now see the stuff that's now been smelted. So we've actually now started to smelt copper. Got an iron bar there now as well, which is pretty cool. We've got coke there. So we're actually starting to sort of get these different bits and pieces. These guys are all now starting to sort of work on things. This one's now making charcoal and ash. So we're getting the charcoal established. Actually, we didn't put anything in there for charcoal. Or did we? There was a block of coal. I think that's still the same sort of deal. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens over time. So we've got slabs which are now being created. So all of the furniture stuff is now going to be placed in here, which is fine. So that will start to get filled up. So got all this. I don't know what's going rotten. Something's going off in the kitchens. These are still they're smelting tetrahedrite, hematite. So we now have enough coke to be able to warrant smelting these different things. Even making pig iron has actually now been allocated as well. So we're going to get our steel industry up and running pretty fast. Actually, looking at this, this is actually pretty cool. So steel is going to be up and running very, very quickly. First thing we want to do is to go into here. We want to add a new task manually and go into other objects and make an iron anvil. Make just one of them. So we've got that block of iron, so we'll just wait for somebody to come and actually make that. Then we'll just go back up to the bedrooms as well in a little while and just check and see what's actually happening. Oh, we've got a lot that are unhappy now. I'll look at that later. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. I won't do it now. I'll do it another time. Just there's a lot that are getting pissed off. And these little poults are running rampant through the fortress. So what I can do here is just go back to that area. Just go to DF hack assign. Just any egg layers. So all the egg layers should be assigned there. They're all roaming all over the place. The little turkey poults. And so we just go down to assign all. Now, sorry, assign all. They're all assigned there now. Just the egg layers. So they'll ultimately end up being put in that area and won't be running around all over the fort. Make that a high priority. There we go, we're making iron bars. And we're now making the iron anvil. Got the coke. So we need the coke to fire up the furnace. and 3 iron bars to make the anvil. There we have a new iron anvil. So I can now go and create another one of these workshops. So workshop, that's going to be metalsmith. And that's all we need to do. Right, let's go up to the bedrooms again and just see how these are going. So these have now all been smoothed out pretty much, which means I can now come back through and set these all up properly. So furniture with beds. Double click that one, I'll just cancel that one. Yeah, it's only one there, that's okay. Doors. Alright, that's all good. Cabinets, I haven't been able to put a cabinet in there yet. So this is the basic stuff for the bedrooms, and then we need to have a chest as well. So that is a basic. Oops, wrong place. I'll just go back and get rid of that other chest. That one there. All right, so that's now also just established these. So I'll just go back into the zones, bedrooms. And just go and we've got the multi-select on, so they'll just become automatically bedrooms now available for everybody. We'll just go back to the smoothing and tell them to continue on smoothing everything in this zone. So everything that wasn't smooth previously will now be smoothed. And I might start to mine out the next position as well, because we are going to need a lot more bedrooms. Those in. Oops. Gotta keep on screwing up that. Can be easier just to remove what you don't need. So that way we've just future planning for these, and we can start to smooth these out as well. Once we've done that, just need to now just go and remove, not that one there, that one there, that one there, and just go and add in that one there. So so they're there. All right, that'll do. Okay, so Beacon will now just come and start to sort of work on that one through there. Yep, so on life saying I agree. Start your own fresh one. So yeah, everyone's saying don't recall how the tutorial works, but I think it picks locations for you, doesn't it? Personally, I'd start my own, picking where to go as part of the fun. It is actually, you know, like not really knowing what you're going to get, and or you know, knowing what you're going to get as well, or not get, makes it cool. So people are now starting to sort of make use of these bedrooms, which is good. Began's just working his ass off in here, just mining through the tetrahedrite, different clusters and stuff. God, he's going rampant here. I think what we might do is we might start to set up the top of the fortress. Let's just go back up to here. This here was going to be like a combat zone, but we might as well use this for the building blocks that we actually need as well. So let's go and create a stockpile here. And accept, and just go into, this one's going to be a bars and blocks. And we're going to go custom, and so we're just going to go none, but we want to have stone blocks, and the ones that we want to have here are going to be blocks of what do we call it, microline. So we're creating microline blocks, and we'll use these ultimately to then build the fortress. So actually I don't even need it that big, so let's just quickly go and hang on, let's just go back to the stockpile. I'll just chop that portion out, because this will, again, these blocks ultimately will be in bins. If we just go back down to where we actually had established our workshop layer, we should soon start to see bins in here. Now, do we have enough wood? That's the other thing. Let's have a look and see what's down below. We haven't got any wood there. I don't have enough dwarves. That's what I need. So yeah, definitely need wood. This is yeah, badger tallow. The bins that we don't have anywhere near enough bins. This has now been positioned, these cage traps, which, oh, here we go, right on cue. We've got the fortress to attract, oh, no, we don't want this. So no migrants this season. That's not what we want. God, we've made a beautiful fortress and no one's arrived. Well, hopefully we make up for it with a big influx coming the next time. Yeah, so we've got a bin there. Let's have a look up the top and just sort of see. If we just go to F1, we've still got some wood out here. The others are sort of playing around in it. Let's just go and start to chop down some more wood. Just get those. That'll just get us started in around this location, and then we might start to sort of quickly try to build the actual top of the fortress. Let's keep on going back down. Yeah, Epic is in saying tin makes bronze. Yeah, with steel we won't need bronze though. That's already been done. God, he's fast. He's a fast worker. These are all still sort of just coming back through. I wonder if we should start to think about going even deeper and opening up more areas of the fortress. Like these are just getting in the way as they come in to try to fix things up. Might as well smooth all that out, I guess. It's still turned itself off. Resume. That one there is just not going to get done. I might just force that actually. Turning off all of that. That just leaves that little bit there. I think we've still got, oh no, they've still got smoothing down here as well. Okay, a slugman swordsman is visiting. He's visited over here. So this is going to be a slugman. More badgers. And the cage trap does not have the cages set up yet. That's set up. That's got the cage and the mechanism. But this one does as well. So we've got a couple of. If the badgers come in, we should be catching them through there. They've been a pain in the ass, these guys. Absolute pain in the ass. So anyway, we'll end up catching them. And don't know where the slugman is. We'll just have a quick look and see where he is. He'll be under other. He's already down in here in the hospital. Having a look around. Okay, so don't like them looking around. Is he wanting to attend a meeting? No, just having a I hunt around, being a pain in the bum. Talking with Began, because Began's got no work. Why are you moving so slow? Oh, hauling tetrahedrite, that's why. So yeah, just hauling the tetrahedrite down to the down to where it's got to go, down into here. Yeah, petition. No, we don't want a slug man. Off you go. There we go. Pig iron bars have now been completed, so we're on the way to making steel. I'm just going to make wooden bins. It may be that the I still may have this other location set up. Where is it? I'm just going to remove this carpenter's workshop. Yeah, I'll just get rid of these workshops. Oh, we've got a new one. So Exik has given birth to a girl. Exik, I think, is one of our fighters, which can be a problem. All right, we'll just go back to the bedroom layer. So you're just going to get rid of this thing here. I think it's just going to be a bit of a pain. Now we've got this one finally done. So let's just quickly go across to furniture, the cabinet, throw the cabinet in there. And that's now got all of the furniture for everyone established. And we'll just smooth out the these different areas now as well. So we'll get these established before too much else happens. And once those are done, we can then set up the rest of it. Okay, get the door. Oh. We've built this beautiful fortress and no one's come. Oh, that'll do. All right, that'll eventually sort of get those done. Everything's looking good. So we've run out of cages for the traps. Moving a bit faster now, which is good. Yeah, that's Gizerone, and that's Exik, and that's the baby. And spouse is Frizerin. So it's actually the military is not going to do very well if they're fighting with a baby, because they will carry the baby into combat. These as well. We've got the smoothing in here. I'll just get the base level smoothing done, just to be able to establish the actual hospital areas. We can now start. That's good. We've got traction benches up there now as well, which all that's working quite well. Furniture, more beds. So we need a bed in the middle, a operating table on the next to the bed, and a traction bench for setting bones also next to the bed. So you want the bed in the middle. So this will be, where are we? That's furniture, traction benches. we go. So Luke Sacker saying, greetings from Germany. Thank you. Started playing Dwarf Fortress, so loving it. Over 300 hours already spent in the game. That's great. That's great. That's certainly worth. It's worth the money when you're spending that much time doing stuff. Actually, it's just great. Now we're still in mid-spring. Who's that? This is a Swords Dwarf. It's come to slay beasts. If you heard this was a good place to search for monsters. So there we go. Now this one will be looking for the leader, I'm guessing, to go and just to put the petition forward. There's the baby. We have to be careful of snatches and things now as well. There we go. No, we'll deny all these. We haven't really opened up the bottom. Well, nothing has come yet into the fortress. And again, the carpenter should be making more cages. If they're not, they've made a lot of splints and things, a lot of bins. There's something wrong then in that case with our work orders for wooden cages. You can see down there, make wooden cages. Let's have a look and see what's going on there. It's at least 150 logs. I might reduce that number down a little bit, down to say at least 50 logs. Then that's satisfied, because the cages are now super important. There we go. We've got a so this is our pig iron bars. Getting a bit more copper now, no silver. Utag Rainwatched. Eradicate monsters. We'll just deny those. They won't help us with sieges or anything. They literally just go out hunting. So of no great value to us. Coming across to smelt something. Oh, there's steel. Iron bars in there. We're on the way, guys. We're on the way. There's silver. Just don't have enough workers to go and put everything away. This is good. This is really, really good. Have a look at the bars. So we're at 30 iron bars now, which is a really good start. If you have 5 silver bars, 32 copper bars, 7 pig iron, 32 coke, 14 charcoal, potash, ash as well, and badger soap. We're now getting soap as well, so this is good. We just don't have any. We don't have any bars of steel yet, but we're getting close. We're getting really close. Yeah, actually saying you shut up fairly quickly for sure. Yeah, we did actually to already start this process of. We'll make that important. Do that one quickly, guys. Do that one quickly. That's Sev, the manager. Going to take it on himself. There we go. 2 steel bars made. Now they're using one of them already for something. Oh, that'll be for storage, I think. And this one as well. I would imagine there's no reason to have them. Actually, I've given them priority. I'll keep that as a priority at this location. Yep, I think they picked them up there. No, they're still there. Yeah, we're just stretched. We just need more dwarves. Okay, we've still got creeping stood outside. We're still trying to get those trees down as well, from up top. Oh, these haven't been chopped yet. We're bringing the wood inside. I might just go and get more cages here. Poults have hatched again. Oh, now wants to collect sand. We need to have a sand position to go and get it. What are you doing? You're loading the cage trap. That's fine. Sand. We have sand in this sort of location, which means that there's a good chance we'll have it when we actually build the top of the fortress. Like there may be sand in around here, maybe not. I wouldn't mind trying to find sand a little bit closer to the bottom of the fortress rather than up near the top. So I won't worry about the sand at this stage. We'll just keep on getting errors about that one. Just come back into the main thoroughfare. Now this actually needs to be bigger as well, so we'll get Began chomping this out. Yep, there's Began just smashing his way through it. Making different things now. Yep, we can't make. We're running out of logs essentially, so we need to get more wood. What we might do is have a quick look downstairs as well, and just see if there's anything we can do down in this location. We've sort of chopped down most of the trees. This is not really got any wood in it. That particular one. We may have to open up this area. And I think we'll do it in here. We'll just chomp our way through this zone. Bit dangerous doing this. Beacon should be down here pretty soon. There's a lot of there's obsidian there as well. Now we need to get just a door. We'll do initially. It's not really going to do well if we get attacked from below. Yeah, make that the top priority for the doors. This then opens up the underground for the dwarves to go off and do things. We'll just wait and see what we end up getting. Here we go. We're already now making steel shields, steel mail shirts. This is great stuff. This is great stuff. So we're already starting to get really, really good equipment. And our military guys should ultimately end up sort of switching things over. We can't see it on them just yet, but that will start to show up fairly soon. There we go. Grab more wood. Let's go and start to chop down more out here. Should find out who that is actually. So that there is Zaradin. Now that we've opened up this, I think I'll actually we might evaluate who these people are. So let's go and have a quick look and see who that is. It's only a bowman. Not really that interested. Cave crocodile should be underground here somewhere. There it is. I don't think it's close. Oh, it is pretty close to our... Oh, what's that? A giant Olm skeleton. So something destroyed this. I don't know what. Anyway, a lot of blood. A lot of blood. So we've got the... have to be a little bit careful of that crocodile. It's a fair way away. I don't think we'll have to worry about it. Let's just stay where we are. So that going back to the one that was there, the other. Yeah, I don't think I'll worry about a bowman. Only 20 years old. Human bowman. Creative, loner. Poor empathy. No, we don't want him. He's interested in a fine seat, fine table. Exhilarated after getting into an argument. No, we don't want anyone argumentative. So we'll deny you. We'll wait for another one to come. Yeah, where's he off to? Oh, he's going to go off down and head out through the underground. So if we follow him along, he'll then just disappear off the map from below. Or is he going to look around? Yep, he's off. He's headed off somewhere where we can't find him. Alright, that's fine. We'll just keep them all here. So Began's now done pretty much all the stuff that we wanted him to do initially. Let's see how we're going at the top of the fortress, which is this area here. Still nothing up through here. We need to get these microline blocks in this area. Let's make sure we're not putting blocks, the microline blocks there. Yeah, we just don't have enough workers. There we go. We've made steel. Actually, no, we're forged. We need steel bars for this stuff. So yep, we've run ahead of ourselves a little bit with the steel making. We should start to see the military dress up in the clothing as we make it. As it becomes available. One thing I meant to do was to make up downstairs through there. Oh, there we go. We're now in early summer. Still no sieges yet. I sort of thought we would have had some by now. Alright, so we need to come up through there and get up downstairs there. Not that we have to, but I will do that. So I'll just go back into constructions. Because it doesn't exist in anything, I'll just go to stairs. Start on the existing upstair, and so we'll just, an existing up downstair will be fine. So we'll just go that way, go up, past that one to that one there. And then I can get rid of these, so I can just go and cancel that construction, keep the up-down stair there, and then just cancel this construction as well. And so they've kept the up-down stair there. So it's only this one here that I want to go and get. But again, we don't have enough. Like the dwarves are working their asses off, and we need more dwarves to help out. Not even packing things away properly. Got wheelbarrows coming out. We've now got iron bars starting to show up. Pig iron bars. Still nothing in that one there. A bit of cassiterite into that side. Some copper. No silver in here just yet. This will, once we get the bins in here, that will then sort of make more sense. What we might do is even set up an empty bins and barrels area. just go and do that now. Accept, and this will be now is it furniture? I can't remember what we do with this. I think it might be furniture. I'll just go to custom. Here's barrels. And that's just the type that it is. I'll make it bins and barrels. There we go. And we'll just ditch them from over here. Not that they're really sort of reacting to anything at this stage. Yeah, so we're making like steel maces, helms, all sorts of stuff, which is good. Got steel helms, shields, mail shirts. No one's picking them up though. It would be much better for these guys if they did get them dressed up like this. Yeah, that's actually a metal crafter. Be better off having. Actually, it's not a metal smith. It's a metal crafter is different again. It's now summer. One thing we're going to need to do is, now that we're in summer, I better get ready for the next lot of traders that come. So let's go and make some trade goods in through here. So we'll accept this. Need to be finished goods. Just go to custom. No armor, no backpacks, bracelets, no chains. Actually, I'll leave crowns, crutches, earrings, yes, figurines, flasks, no, footwear, no, goblets, no, handwear, headwear, large gems, legwear. Just go through the different types. Quivers, rings, yes. Scepters, yes. Splints, no. Tools, no. Totems, yes, I guess. Toys. So they're the stuff we want to be trading. Doesn't matter what it's made out of, so that will be fine. And we will just allocate that little stockpile there for the finished goods. So this is actually where we want our crafts dwarf to be sort of finishing things off. If we just go back down into this one here. Oops, where are we? There's a lot of stuff that's been built in here. So we need to have that sort of just moved up into that stockpile. Anyway, we'll just let them continue on for a little bit longer. There's some silver finally. Oh, here we go. One thieving or mischievous creature. Yeah, here's a rat that's been coming in. Now that's we can lock the door if we're concerned about it. It is actually close to where we are. The doorway through is right here. There goes the rat. It was just running down. There it comes. So it's going to now move into this location. Here we go. Let's lock the door. Actually, can we lock it? Yes, we can. We'll now forbid this, and we'll send out our military to kill this thing off. So get our squad, and your job is to kill this rat. Confirm. Kill a large rat. So we'll just now it should start I've set it so that it should pause at the start of combat. But it's then going to pause at every single step. Let's just follow the rat in anyway. Here we are. No, it didn't actually pause. That's interesting. So we didn't get the pausing happening. Anyway, that's still fine. We've got heavy bleeding. It was Gizerone again. She's actually smashed so much of all the animals that have come back through. There we go. It's dead. So that's all done. So they've now finished off their mission. We'll just go and deselect them and let them go back to their jobs in the fortress. So that was a good result there. Yep, so we just had to fight very, very quickly. They're going to take the... no, they're just cleaning stuff up. That's okay. We've still got the large rat corpse there. That should be taken down into the refuse pile, which may ultimately be too... it may be too full. Oh no, there's space there for it. Hope they don't butcher it. No, that's okay. They've got their own. They've got enough of these things to butcher without worrying about the others. So that's all working. Back into here. Still making steel. Damn, this is great to actually get everything we've been able to do with these with this location here. This is really awesome. But I've pretty much run out of time today, guys. So I'm going to have to get going. You can see there that we need a lot more than just the cancels. What do we need? We need cancels make charcoal. Need logs. Logs are sort of stopping it. We need 2 steel bars as well for the various other things. I might have a quick look and see what's happening with those things with what we need. So if we go to forge steel greaves or mail shirt or the shield, for example, if I just go back in, it's greater than 1. We actually need more than that. So so there is actually going to be a minimum steel requirement. I haven't really put them in properly, so I should actually go through and actually just double check all of those. Like I think that the mail shirt, for example, requires more than 1. It requires like 3 steel or 2 steel or something. Anyway, let's leave that one where that is. So I'm going to get going, guys. So thanks for watching. Yeah, if you look, I'll be playing this at least once a week. I really am enjoying this. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'll be playing tomorrow. I know what I'm playing the day after, because that's the Age of Wonders 4, the new DLC. I'm going to be allowed to show that in a couple of days' time. So I'll definitely be wanting to show that one. I may even go back and show some of the stuff from Elemental again, because there's been some more updates for Elemental. So that would be pretty fun just to have a bit of a play with that as well. Anyway, I'll think about that tomorrow and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.